Hey everyone, and welcome into our Protractor sneaks and releases for May 2025. It's been a few weeks since Darren and I have gotten together to go over some of the new product releases. So we figured this would be a great opportunity to not only share what happened and what was released in Q1, but also what is currently being tested in pilot and ready for production in Q2. And then maybe a little bit of a sneak peek looking forward in terms of some of the things that we are in the process of developing. So to give you a kind of a quick visual of what that looks like, we created a roadmap here, something that you've seen previously. And if we just take a look, quick jog back to Q1, essentially, we had a few relatively large updates in Q1 go out to help with the quality of life, maintenance, and then also just scalability within the program. So batch adding to the purchase order, we had a default starting window where you could start out in Protractor essentially where you prefer. And then the ability to manage promotions within the application. In Q2, we probably have some of the largest releases we've ever looked at least in the last 3 years, I would say. I'll leave mobile authorizations on the side for right now because I want Darren to talk about them. But we are going to be releasing an online service scheduler that can be integrated to Protractor, pull through appointment times, or do a little bit of a sneak peek here on that. It can also be integrated to a website platform, HTML. And then also a sneak peek at the brand new platform of AutoServe One digital vehicle inspections. We have over 1,000 customers using AutoServe One that's integrated to Protractor. They're working on a new platform that's currently in pilot. There will be a new integration with that. It'll essentially just make it go faster and be stronger than ever. So that's a little bit of a walkthrough, but as always, we wanted to give a visual along with the talk. So Darren, I'm going to let you take control of the screen here, and you can show off some of the newness that we have in Protractor.
So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and I'll show a couple of things that Kevin mentioned. Hopefully you can see my Protractor now. So first thing we talked about, kind of a small quality of life thing, but it can be a big impact, especially when our mission is always to save a click or two here and there, right? So when I go ahead and log into Protractor here, you'll see that in a second, my prioritization screen loads up by default, whereas in the past, you were always taken to just that famous blue screen, and then you could, of course, choose to go from there wherever you want. In this case, though, based on what your main duty is in the shop, whether it's accounting, working as a service advisor or tech, you can kind of choose where to go in by default. And if I just jump into setup here, as long as you have permissions to view security users, you can click on the user role here, and there's a new default window drop down. So basically giving you all the options from the main ribbon, aside from a few things like utilities that don't actually have a page to open, but you can pick and choose from here what you want. If you decide you prefer not to have a default window, you can always just choose the blank option at the top and use the behavior like we've always had. Promotions are something we added at the end of March as well, and we released an update to in the last update here just before May as well. But essentially here, this is going to allow you to build promotions that will automatically calculate for you. Historically, Protractor has always been able to discount either line by line or by doing something like a service package that has a fixed amount on there. But here, I can simply say that, I want to have 10% off the entire work order with a cap of $50, or I want to give, a parts or labor only discount. Again, I can do caps, I can do flat amounts. And if you watch the Loom video I posted as well, the last update here, we have options like allow coupon to stack. You can think of this kind of like when you go to the grocery store and they say, allow this to combine with other options or not. As long as you allow them to stack, you can combine this with other discounts kind of at your control. So less having to worry about it manually on the work order level from the advisor. Something else we added, which doesn't necessarily seem like a lot in the beginning, is the ability to create a PO from here with the batch add option. So kind of basic when you first click on it here, but I can type a part number in and it'll allow me to start a new purchase order with a supplier that I pick. Let me go and actually put a quantity in. But this was actually sort of a foundational piece that we needed to do the next thing I'm about to show you. One of the next major updates, you're going to see two new buttons up here, and those are going to be look up via Parts Tech and place order via Parts Tech. This is just a screenshot of the work in progress, so this will change a little bit. But essentially, we'll finally have the ability to be able to create a purchase order manually, look up those parts through Parts Tech, and ship it to the vendor using Parts Tech automatically. So that foundational piece was really necessary for us to get here, and really excited to have that be an option for you guys very soon, hopefully in the next major update by June. Something that you definitely noticed in the last update as well is the new mobile authorizations or send authorization, depending what you want to call it. All of your setup is here for you to view, as well as a preview of the form on the right, very similar to our existing print documents. This is a little bit more of a modern view, though, than compared to like the PDF option that we've had in the program for a while. This also gives the customers the ability to approve or decline the individual packages. Once they click on that option, it is going to actually automatically calculate the totals for you too, based on the different shop supplies and taxes that you have set up in your shop. Various options you can add over on the left. Something we added just a couple of days ago was the new disclaimer field as well. That wasn't there as part of the initial launch a week ago, but got that added in pretty quick. And you're going to see some more things over the month of May get added in, like more customizing on the parts and labor format for the fields, a little bit different way of displaying discounts, promotions, and warranties on the mobile authorization view, as well as an option to remove the service package level approvals if you only want to give an all or nothing option. So we're going to keep working on this. We're taking your feedback to make sure that it is the best it can possibly be. If you need help with it, contact support. We're happy to help you get it set up. If you go and load a work order, you can access this two different ways. First, I can hit review service packages and I can hit apply and authorize from here. This is another way to save a click or two where I can launch directly to the authorization. If the customer is not standing in front of you or you're not on the call though, you can just press send authorization and you'll get to either email or text that new link to them. Again, with a preview of what's going to be on there before it goes out. This does support a signature. And otherwise, you can also just go directly to the authorization button like before, click send authorization from there, get that same preview prompt. Kevin mentioned the upcoming AutoServe 1 integration as well. AutoServe 1 is very close to getting the pilots out for their newest version. It's going to look and feel somewhat similar to the existing AutoServe 1, but it's going to have a lot of functionality that everybody's been asking for, like much higher resolution images, new rules being put into the inspection builder, and a lot of other things that we're going to be able to build on, like a new quality check step, for example, that was not part of AutoServe 1 before. So we did do some work on the Protractor side to be able to support some of these new features, and really happy that we're able to do that work in advance of them getting the new version ready for everybody to try. Kevin also mentioned the new service scheduler coming out soon. A lot of shops have used our existing appointment tool in the past. There's kind of a one-page fits all for everybody. But this is going to be a much more modern looking scheduler where you can go through and put in your information as needed, look up your customer records in the shop or create a new record if you haven't been there before. And your customers, I think, are going to have a lot better experience with this compared to what we had before. Pulls up the vehicle, lets you choose your services, put in pictures, put in your own notes, and of course, go through and get availability based on what you choose. Much more modern looking widget and better control over confirmations and reminders that the customer can see via email and text. So looking forward to that. That should be available very soon. See some of those options down here in the bottom right. So last but not least, something we didn't put on there, but a lot of people have been asking about is hopefully this quarter, if not a little bit soon after, we will be updating to the new Napa ProLink punch out, as well as the WorldPack Speed Dial 2.0 browser-based punch out, as opposed to the old Speed Dial that launched as its own application. So like Kevin said, tons of stuff has come out recently and tons of stuff looking forward to very soon.
Great stuff. Thanks, Darren. And I would just welcome, anybody that has questions about specific features or maintenance updates that Darren just talked about, reach out to our support team. They train on this stuff all day long. They can also connect you with an implementation manager and you can do a webinar to learn some of the new updates to the system. So we definitely want to make sure that if we're spending all this time, creating new enhancements and functions within Protractor, they're being discovered and ultimately utilized successfully within the customer base. So A lot of these suggestions come directly from you, the customer. So hopefully we can keep up with that demand and keep delivering on that. And Darren and his team certainly have kept up their end of the bargain. So now we push into Q2 and we're really looking forward to some of those new enhancements coming live. So thanks again, Darren. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us. We'll plan to do another one of these in the next 6 weeks or so, as we get a little bit further down the line with online service scheduler and the new AutoServe One Next Gen platform. So thanks everybody and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.